welcome back to another episode of Get Through Show, your favorite YouTube show you already know. Today we have a very nice, beautiful guest in our midst, which I will introduce to you later, and we want to talk about should husband and wife have a joint account. Will you ever have a joint account with your hubby or with your wifey? Let's find out from the rest of the squad and also from the amazing guests. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. I told you I have amazing people right here, and I also our guest, Mrs. Balogun is in Bama, right? Yes. And also Ori by the far right, yes. And Mr. Tunji.
Shout out to God.
Shout out to God. So, guys, you already know the topic. Should husband and wife have a joint account? Let's say if you allow your husband to say, let's have a joint account. You know? I will start from our guests. Miss Balogun. Just tell us, what will you like? How will you feel if your husband just wake up in a day and said, let's go have a joint account?
I think when you're married, everyone agrees that you become one. Mm-hmm. It's not just becoming one in the other room, but becoming one
in everything,
in all essence. I do also believe in individuality also.
Yes.
You need to have your individuality inside a relationship so that you can always have that as a moral compass to stay true to yourself. So I do believe in having a joint account, but at the same time have separate accounts. I watched the show once where I think it's Steve Harvey had said, have 4 accounts in a marriage. One is a joint account for expenses so that everyone can know how much it costs to run the house, to pay the costs, etc., whatever you have. The second one is for your savings to put away for the rainy day. So you know that every month when you get your salary or whatever dividends you get, you put inside your savings account. And then for that, you will say for a rainy day. So you both are aware of it, and you both are going to need a joint signature to work through that account. And then the personal account for when you want to go do your nails, when you want to go buy personal stuff that you wouldn't want to now go back to your spouse and say, I need money for sanitary towels, or I need money to go do my nails. I want to go to the barber. I want to use the joint account. Yeah. You can do that, or you can surprise them so that they will know one day you just come home, you bought them flowers, or you bought them a new pair of shoes. It can come as a surprise because you use that from your own little personal pocket money.
Yeah, which makes it nice.
Which makes it nice. So I do believe in having a joint account in order to have transparency on how it works in the household. Yeah. But at the same time, having a personal account just to have that individuality to yourself, to know, to also keep track of yourself. You can't always lean on the other person to always keep you in check. You need to also have something that keeps you in check. So also, if you see your personal account as, I'm not using that much today, or last month I used this much, or I'm using too much, my spouse seems to have more on their personal account, maybe I need to work on myself, because your spouse is not always going to be there. Yeah. So you're not always going to have the joint account. So what's going to happen now if your spouse passes away and you were used to having them to lean on in terms of working on your accounts? You never really had that financial literacy on your own. So I do believe in having individuality in the marriage, but at the same time having something to have together for the betterment of the household.
Yeah, you actually said my mind, because for me also, I will have a personal account and also I will have a joint account with my wife. It makes life simple, I think, to partners. But there's some people also, they don't even want it at all. That's why we're having this topic, to know if our viewers also and all the people that can watch this video, to know if it's necessary to have a joint account or not. Ori, I will start also from you.
As for me, I can say having a joint account with your spouse is nice, but also if you are working and your wife is working too, having a joint account is okay, but it requires a lot of strength, timing, because money can cause problem too in relationship. You need to understand that. So
sorry to cut you short. How do you mean by that? How will it cause a problem?
Money they cause wahala. So now, let me bring it down for you now. Maybe you'll be able to understand now. Having a joint account, it will be able to trace where the money is going. You understand? You can't spend money without maybe one of the spouse consents. That's number one.
Obviously.
You understand?
Obviously.
So, and if your income is bigger than the other one, You understand? What you are dropping inside the joint account and the way you are spending money, or maybe your wife is spending money or anything, there will be an argument.
That's only if you don't understand each other, because I don't see any argument in that.
You may not know, but I tell you, when it comes to money. There is one power behind that money that will cause arguments. Don't go away with that. You need to understand. So that's why I said you require more strength and patience and understanding and communication. You understand? So if you can be able to handle that, then it's fine. Because having a joint account, you guys can be able to say, okay, maybe this is what we are going to be using. You are going to be using this account to buy property, to do an investment, to do something for our future and for the children. That's very good. You can also have your own personal account, just as Mrs. Balogun said. So you understand. But I feel it's require understanding, because money brings argument a lot.
Yeah, when I asked you this question, you said but.
That's the
so
but.
The but in which is, from your own point of view, will you have a joint account with your wife?
Yes, I can have.
Now I'm asking you personally, not
yes,
like
I can have. Yeah, I said yes, I can have a joint account with my wife.
Okay, and also have a personal one.
Yes, the personal one is a must.
All right. Okay.
I should add that in the personal one, it doesn't mean that now your spouse shouldn't know.
No,
like your spouse can know how much you have in that balance, how much you keep.
If you don't have anything hidden,
you
understand.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to hide. From my own point, there's nothing I can hide from my wife. Even if she saw that I'm making so much amount, it doesn't have to. And also, to add to what you said, right? I wouldn't want to be in that situation whereby I want to tell my wife, this is actually how much you need to be, because I know I make money more than her. So you can't make her to be equal. That means you're gonna put her under pressure, like to meet up with.
No, you are not putting her.
What if she
agree to?
Sorry. So what if she makes more than you?
It's still the same thing. I wouldn't mind. Yes, I wouldn't mind, because at the end of the day, putting pressure on myself because I want to be in the same. Because let's say we agreeing that we will make 50,000. You know what I mean? So if I couldn't make it, so my wife.
What I know is that before the agreement of having a joint account, you might have know how much your husband earn and how much your wife earn and how much you will be sparing from that money and putting inside this account.
Yeah.
And it must be a continuation.
Yeah.
So what if something?
I want to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you marry a woman that earns more than you?
Yes. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Anyway, it's your turn to say something in this.
The pastor.
Yeah. So first of all, right, Mrs. Balogun, I'd like to say it is refreshing. I've had cold chills when you were talking. It's refreshing to know that in the generation where a lot of things are going upside down, and then you hear a woman speaks like that, it's so refreshing. It gives you hope, and then you just made me believe that no matter how difficult and hectic it is in this generation, there are still people who reasons the way you just reason. It's very refreshing. Secondly, every one of you guys have spoken well, and I think the points that Ori was trying to make to you that you're still trying not to get is that I will only have a joint account with my wife if my wife is an understanding person and somebody who has financial discipline. Everything we've said here today is going to work if you have a woman or a man that both of you guys have a common goal.
Yeah.
You have the same vision.
Yeah.
And the same future and what you guys want. And that's why I tell a lot of single people these days that marry somebody who is interested in you as much as you are interested in him or her. Because when you marry somebody like that, look, we can be the best quote of relationship of marriage. Vic, there are Jezebels out there.
Yeah, I know.
The same way as there are angels out there. So if unfortunately you go and get one of the Jezebels.
But wouldn't it be nice if you know the person you're getting into?
Exactly. That's my point now, saying that, Vic, I always say this and I always say it. And I don't know, maybe it's experience or an encounter, I don't know what it is. Vic, besides respecting women for me is not what my parent taught me. It's not what I read in the book. It's what I've encountered in whereby, by the way, I've been in the labor room with 2 women that are not even my own wife when they are having a baby because of circumstances. I was just there. The sight of what I saw in there, I think it brings me more to over 2 years ago, and then I made a promise to myself that any woman that come into my life, I want to do everything to make life easier for her. It is difficult to be a woman in this world. It is more difficult to be a woman in African continent. And it is more difficult to now be a woman in our community in terms of, I just want to make your life better. That's what I want to wake up every day. How can I make this person's life better? So, what Ori was trying to tell you that you need a lot of understanding is this, that there are cases where that I've heard, I've seen.
Not only you, we have seen.
A husband is saving for them to get it, to acquire a property.
And the wife is
The wife goes at that time is to buy. Now,
It happens, though. It
exactly. So that was what Ori was telling you, that before you say, because now Vic, you said it with confidence, and I won't argue it.
Yeah.
I pray that it is so for you.
Yeah, because
Bro,
whenever we pray for God to
yeah,
give us
if
a
you
good
get
wife
in
and a
there,
good husband.
if
So
you
I
get in
wouldn't,
there,
I
exactly.
wouldn't want to marry a Jezebel that I wouldn't want to marry a squander.
It's
obviously.
good to be beautiful,
Yeah.
to look beautiful and look splashy and all of that. But you're not going to tell me to go have a joint account with a woman that she wants us to go to Madais every 1 month.
So that means you don't know your wife.
No, even if she
You're
knows
still
you
not
well,
getting my point.
They may love
Listen
each
to what
other.
I'm saying.
But this
I'm
is her
saying that
lifestyle. So
you
does
can't-
that mean you have
Someone
to
that
let her?
wants, someone that likes expensive things, maybe.
it doesn't have to. Okay, Vic. Okay, let me recap. Mrs. But see how she said now. Everything she said, you said, Ori said,
Yeah.
will work if the partner we are going to have is same partner that we both have a common goal.
Yeah.
And we understand each other like Ori said.
Financially.
So when Ori was
Because
telling you
money.
that money can cause problem,
I
I'm
know
trying to
everybody knows that.
expatiate you. One of the problem money can cause is when a woman is telling you that my friends are going to Maldives, and at that time the money you people are saving is you guys
For
to
something
pay your
important.
bond.
Yeah, yeah.
My brother,
You go touch her more.
you will know the difference between 6.5 dozen.
You go touch her more. You go touch the money.
So now, Tunji, what are you saying?
I'm saying
Are
that
you-
if by God's grace, God gives me a wife who is financially disciplined, I will open a joint account. But
Okay.
if I know that my wife is prayer, dispendee,
it's very hard,
So
so that she can spend her own money.
But if she's already a wife, then remember when you are coming together, coming into
No, I ain't gonna give her
learning,
money.
It's trial and error. You know, most.
I love that. I love the honesty. Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the African the black people in general, we lack financial literacy.
Discipline,
So chances of you finding a person of your origin or your skin color having advanced financial literacy is very slim. So you still have to sit down together and have that understanding.
That's exactly what I
But
want to
chances
say.
are when you come together, you find that someone has a student debt or credit card debt that they had to learn when when you first find your job, you want to buy everything, you want to show people have life.
Yeah.
So most people, they have that historical debt, but now they want to start and build something with someone. So are you now saying because that person has that historical debt, I'm not going to even try and build a joint account until you clear out your historical
No.
debt?
On that note, ma'am, there are there are some debts that are reasonable. If I meet a girl who has
you guys
student-
have- we have already
if I
communicated
meet
about
a
those
girl
things.
who has student loan, I swear to you, I cross my heart, I'll do everything to pay it off.
pay it off.
Because look at it. Have you heard of something they call broke to invest? And like you went broke after you've invested, but not went broke after you've spent. Those are somebody have invested into our own person to be a better person. Of course, I'll pay student loan.
But what about the others? Because people, we learn. You buy that Mercedes when you have your first job. You don't know how to maintain it. You realize that it takes almost 90% of your salary. You now have to trade it in, but you still have that debt to clear off.
Okay, ma.
So now you meet someone. They tell you, I still have that Mercedes. It was written off. I still need to clear it out. Are you saying, okay, sort out that Mercedes before we get into a joint account?
Okay, so on that note, that is where, for me personally, what you do before I met you doesn't really what I look back into.
Okay.
What is important to me is what are you doing
at the moment
from when we meet onward. So everybody has baggages.
Okay,
So I'm not interested in. Of course, we're gonna sort all that. But even now that you're with me, 1 year, 2 years into a relationship, what is that spending still looking
Ms.
like?
Balogo, I understand your question, right? But I think I want this one to answer that question because there's something he want to talk about now. Listen, we're just saying that if she have to pay that Mercedes, right, and you can see she's struggling, and maybe the bank or whatever, the car dealership is like pressuring her. As a husband, what will you do?
No, ma'am. Are you talking when we're already married or when we're still dating?
You maybe you are married and maybe you
But
are
he
married.
said whatever that you had
before the marriage.
You understand?
Yeah.
So let's say she was having it at the back of her mind, like I'm gonna pay this because it's my problem.
It's my problem.
So
But
now you have to find out as a husband that this is really choking your wife.
Okay, wait a minute now.
Do you get my point?
Okay, Vic, I think I need to rephrase it. If what she asked is when you've already married the person.
No, you said whatever that she had at the past.
Yes,
Yeah.
Vic, right?
You must start from where
but
what she's
he also
doing.
I'm
said,
talking about-
he also
After
said
the-
what
did
she
she
has
do?
in the past can be sorted out.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying to you now.
So you
that-
Can be
have
sorted out by
everything
her, right?
No, by me.
By you.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm
Together,
saying.
I thought
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
understood.
That's where the
See,
communication comes
Vic,
in.
I'm being honest with you like this. See, look, there are so many things we need to unlearn to relearn. And I love what she said. She said it's tricky.
Yeah.
Until we open every day to realize that whatever we put, I don't want to have to raise my daughter to make her be scared of men in the future. I want to raise her in a way whereby if a man come into your life, it's going to be an addition. But your moral standard still needs to be there. But now, we don't want to agree that things can go, not everything will be, have an happy ever after. Bro, yeah, so everything is not going to be smooth. So my bro, if unfortunately or fortunately, I don't find one of those women that have that financial literacy, there is nothing like joint account. I'd rather put you on a salary basis or a commission basis. Okay, babe, this for you, this for school fees, and this for this one. Joint account, because you don't
What
want
happens when you have now, sorry to interject, but
Yeah.
what happens when you have now passed away suddenly, God forbid?
No, of
There
course,
is still
no.
She's not going to be equipped to know
No,
on how.
okay.
That's why you find some people when their husband, because you're saying, I give her her allowance, I give her a salary.
And when
But
you're
she will
not
also
there,
be an
and we're
independent
not there.
She will be an independent woman, of course. No, I'm trying to look. I don't want. And
But
this
even
is
at
just-
that,
I
and
think
she's
he's
not
talking
getting
about
more.
out of
See,
her job.
I'm
She's
talking about
working.
out of her
But
job.
even what he's saying, she's earning maybe 5,000 rand salary. You used to give her an allowance of 20,000 rand.
Yeah.
Obviously, her standard of living, now you've gone, she
Exactly.
can't get the 20,000
Exactly.
rand.
Okay, no,
She's not going to be used to living on a 5,000 rand.
See my point,
salary,
right?
Yeah.
I think because of time, I'm just gonna make it just so short. I'm that kind of person who believe from now with past experience in the last 2 years that the moment you get married, no matter how little your property or whatever you have is, I think everything needs to start going to your wife the moment you're married, because nobody knows when life is unpredictable. You know, a lot of lessons have taught us that. So my point is, if unfortunately, I have a woman who this and that, things are going to be in place. I'm not saying, of course, she's going to be independent. Of course, she's going to have businesses that she does. I'm talking about now as a man, as an African man, quote, as an African man, that there are things that still need to be done. We are not white. It's only in America that husband and wife are working, the wife doesn't expect you to buy anything, maybe just buy a flower. No, but African man, we believe we are brought up in that order. Like, I want to be there for my family. So I'm saying, you want to do this one, of course they will be there. Of course you will have things that are going to be in your name that even if I have passed, you're not gonna have problem with my family, or my kids are not gonna have problem. But I'm saying to you that when it comes to joint, that will not give me peace.
Inside this account, where go be blood pressure?
Never, my bro. Never.
Blood pressure.
Have you seen those gender? Have they changed for you?
Yeah. Blood pressure.
Okay, you are saving money for a contract like this. That's why I said if you don't have somebody that has common goal, you're saving money for a contract like this. Somebody's telling you that me and my sis friend are going to Madrid. We want to go and do housewife for so.
Or family member.
Or family member. Everyone will kiss the end.
And they see this money. Go pay because they would like to do it.
Yes.
They have this emotion of.
You know what it is.
We have all
See,
heard
go pay.
Can you just tell the fans like what they should like if they have to be you?
Okay, what I'm gonna say is that you study your woman. If study your woman, study your partner rather. If you guys can study now, you can come up with one goal. What you are using this money for, and it goes to that way. It's fine. I'm not going against it. But if you know you cannot control it, financial money, no problem.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Miss Balogun, what can you say too? You agree with what Ori said?
I think you summarized it well. If you have the common objective, I still feel you can have a joint account. There's nothing wrong with it. If you have the common objective that you want to for the betterment and for of your children and having more generational wealth, you can have a joint account. Yeah. But at the same time, I still do believe that people need to have their own personal, just to have something that you to keep to yourself.
Because there's so much uncertainty in this world.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Okay, so guys, you already hear what we have to say about this. We will also want to read from you because it's us versus you about this topic. For me also, I will have a joint account if only that my woman is like what the two gentlemen explained.
But Vic, you need to wait. You need to wait till you meet the woman.
I will.
I will,
and that's why when you're praying for a good husband and wife, you must ask God for a very
Victor now will make us fight. Guys, don't depend on prayer alone when
shine
it comes to choosing right partner.
Obviously,
Open
but
your
God can
eyes.
help you. God can help you as well.
Open your eyes. See, come. If you let those Brazilian queens, if you jam them,
shine your eyes.
In 1 week, you're gone. Maldives, Dubai, San Francisco. My money I want to use and build house.
Welcome back, guys. You already know this is a very hard topic and you already hear what we have to say about this. Like and subscribe and leave your comment what you think about this topic of having a joint account with your wifey or your hubby. See you in the next episode. It's your boy Victor Chibuzo. Thank you.